Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. Welcome to Miss Sakina's English class. I hope that everyone is doing fine today. Today, we are going to continue Unit 7 Out and About. But today, we are going to learn writing. Are you ready? Let's start. Alright, before we start our lesson today, I would like to show you a picture. Let's see. Ta-da! Do you remember what this animal called? That's right, a duck. Now, today we are going to learn more about the duck and also other farm animals that we learned yesterday. Are you ready? Let's go. Alright, so let me show you the first animal. That's right, it's the duck. Now, what do we call it if we have more than one duck? Like this one. How many duck do we have? 1, 2, 3. We have 3 of them. That means it is more than one. More than one. When we have more than one animal, we can add an S at the end of the word. Now, we call it ducks. So, when we have only one duck, we call it without an S, duck. When we have only one, we call it duck. When we have more than one, we call it ducks with an S. Got it? Alright, let's look at the next animal. Now, can you guess the next animal? This one, what do we call this animal? That's right, the horse. Now, we have only one horse. What do we call it if we have more than one horse? One, one, two. We have two. So what do we call it? We call it horses. Horses. We add an S. That's right. Because it is more than one. It is more than one. When it is more than one, we have to add an S. Okay, let's look at the next one. The next animal is this. What is this? A goat. That's right. What do we call it if we have more than one goat? That's right. We add an S, so it becomes goats. Goats. Alright, so for the next animal, I know you know this one. Ta-da! So what is this animal? Chicken. That's right. So what do we call it if we have more than one chicken? How many chicken are there here? We have 1 and 2. 2 chicken, right? So what do we call it if we have 2 of them? What do we have to do again? We should add an S. So it becomes chickens. Chickens. Very good. So for the next animal, let's see. What is this animal? A cow, that's right. So what do we call it when we have more than one cow? We have 1, 2, 3. What do we call it if we have 3 of them? Cows. We have 3 cows. We add an S. That's right. Alright, so for the next animal, it is a bit tricky. What is it? What is this animal? The wolf. That's right. When we have more than one wolf, like 2 of them, if we have 2 of them, or more than one wolf, we should call it wolves. Wolves. That's right. We can add ES and not only S. We add ES. That's right. And remember, the letter F here must be changed into V. And it becomes wolves. Wolves. Say it with me. Wolves. That's right. Ready for the next animal? Let's go. Alright, the next one is not actually an animal, but it is a fruit. Can you guess what it is? We learned it yesterday. That's right, it is the tomato. Tomato. When we have only one, we call it tomato. What do we call it if we have more than one tomato? Like this one. How many tomato do we have? 1, 2, 3. That's right. So what do we call it if we have more than one tomato? We call it tomatoes. Tomatoes. We have to add ES. ES. Just like the wolves just now, we add ES. Got it? Very good. Let's look at the next one. Alright, the next one is an animal. So let's see. Ta-da! What is this animal called? A sheep. That's right. So what do we call it if we have more than one sheep? So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 sheep. So what do we call it if we have 4 of them? What's that again? Sheeps? Add an S? No. Add ES? No. No. If we have more than one sheep, we should call it also sheep. There should not be any S added. So, if we have one sheep, we call it sheep. But if we have more than one sheep, we should also call it sheep. You do not have to change it. You do not have to change it. It is the same. Alright, understood? Very good. Now, the next animal is also quite tricky. So let me show it to you. So what is this animal? The mouse. That's right. So what do we call it if we have more than one mouse? How many do we have? 1, 2, 3. That's right. We have 3 of them. So what do we call it if we have more than one mouse? Mouses? No. We call it mice. We call it mice. So if we have only one, we call it mouse. But if we have more than one, we call it mice. That's right. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, so for the last one, it is not an animal but a child. A child. So boys and girls, you are a child. Each and every one of you is a child. So what do we call it if we have more than one child? If we have more than one child. If we have more than one child, we call them children. Say it with me, children. That's right. Alright, so let's go back to the previous slide. Alright, now let me test you. So, this is one duck. So, what do we call it if we have more than one duck? We call it ducks. That's right. Okay, the next one. This is one horse. What do we call it if we have more than one horse? We call it horses. Very good. Alright, the next. Goat. What do we call it if we have more than one goat? We call it goats. That's right. Next. What do we call it if we have more than one chicken? Chickens. Very good. Now, what do we call it if we have more than one cow? We call it cows. That's right. Now, what do we call it if we have more than one wolf? This is a bit tricky, but I know you can do it. What do we call it? We call it wolves. We add ES and change the F into V. That's right, wolves. Wolves. The next one. What do we call it if we have more than one tomato? We call it tomatoes. We add ES. That's right. Alright, this one. What do we call it if we have more than one sheep? What is it again? Sheeps? No. What do we call it? Sheep. Also sheep. That's right. Now this one. What do we call it if we have more than one mouse? We call it mice. Very good. The last one. What do we call it if we have more than one child? What is it again? Children. That's right. Very well done, everyone. Alright, children. So now I want to give you a worksheet. What is this picture showing? It is a farm, right? It is a big farm. That's right. Now tell me, what animals can you see on the farm? Let's start from here. What is this? Sheep. Yes, you have a lot of sheep here. Not a lot, but you have some sheep here. What else? Goat. That's right. cow, mouse, duck, and also a horse. That's right. Now, what you have to do is to find the animals, all the animals you can see, and color them. Right? You will have to find the animals you can see and color them. And then I want you to write sentences. Okay, let me show you how. Okay, this is the first example. There is one cow. See, you find a cow and then you write here. There is one cow. Okay, let me show you another one. Right. How many goats do we have? 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have 4 goats, right? Okay, so write it here. Write it here. There are 4 goats. Yes, you only need to do like that. Easy, right? I know you can do it. Alright, so this is the second task. For the second task, I want you to draw your own farm in your exercise books, E1 or E2. And then write one sentence about what animals are there on your farm. Okay, I want you to draw your own farm. Okay, imagine that you have your own farm. And I want you to draw it in your exercise books, okay, in your E1 or E2. Draw your own farm, like this one. Look what I drew. This is my farm, right? I know you can draw better than this. Right, then, after you finish drawing, I want you to write one sentence about what animals are there on your farm, like this one. Here, I wrote, there are 3 ducks, 1, 2, 3, 2 chickens, 1, 2, and 1 cow. So I write it here. There are 3 ducks, 2 chickens, and 1 cow. So if on your farm you have 5 chickens, so you have to write it here. That you have 5 chickens, and maybe if you have 10 mice, you can write there are 5 chickens and 10 mice. Like that. Can you do it? Alright, all the best. Now before we end our lesson today, remember that I told you yesterday to always be kind to animals. Right? You have to always be kind to them because they are also living things too. Alright, so that's all for today, everyone. Thank you and see you next time. Don't forget to do your homework.